Welcome back to another episode of Marvel's Pack Fresh podcast with just two of us today. Spidey Jew 09, welcome. And obviously me, Ginger Man Cards. Hope you're all super well. We invite you to join us with the latest Marvel card news and join the pack, have some fun, comment down below in the live chat, all that good stuff. How you doing, Spidey?
Man, I'm good. I'm gonna miss Sketch Card and Elusive. Maybe they'll jump on, but Gingy, you're enough, man. I just need you to know that.
I'm not. It means I have to talk more on Sketch Card, which is going to be hard. So
that's a tall task, and so
it is. I can't do
it. It's quite the space to fill up. But look, when we're talking Marvel cards, we can fill some space.
We can indeed. So I mean, who's in the house? Hi, Marvelous Packs. Straight on, full watching.
Yeah.
Good night. Good. Are you going to sleep straight away? By the sounds of it. Do you want to share why you're?
Why am I standing up? Yeah. So for those who are watching live on the streams, I am not sitting in my chair because if I sit in my chair, I would likely fall asleep. Being that some buddies and I hit Instagram Live last night, and my daughters were in a talent show, and they did really well. One of my daughters actually won $1,000 singing.
Oh, wow.
And so it was like midnight when we got home. And because of, for those who don't know, this is X-Men Metal E-Pack week. Because of X-Men Metal E-Pack and the work that I've been putting on that, I haven't put out a video really this week, any content. So I was recording, and at like 12:30, I get a message from a good buddy, Ian, Mr. Cards of Metal himself. And he's like, hey, I just opened 4 boxes on E-Pack and it was all trash. He literally got the same pink parallel twice. He's like, so I'm going to rage rip my physical boxes that I have left. Do you want to jump on and watch? And we did. And next thing I know, it's 3:30 in the morning and they still had not hit the case hits. And so we just kept going until the case was finished. And next thing you know, sun was up. It was 6 a.m. So only about 3 hours sleep today. So I'm going to stand up to make sure my energy is good and that I don't fall asleep in the chair.
Love it.
Hey, look, Scandal was there. Yawn. Yeah.
Yeah, Scandal was there. Yeah, I saw you all. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I saw you all on the live this morning. I was like, what?
Yeah.
It's like 9 o'clock my time.
Yeah. Oh, 9 o'clock your time. And we're still going.
Yes. What's going on?
Scandal hit a massive sketch of Magneto. It was pretty sweet.
Yeah, I saw. So yeah, what's up, Scandal? What's up, Adam?
Adam,
trading to watch. That's awesome.
Sweet, man. Maybe you can make a trade in the comments.
Yeah.
Probably get faster response times than some of these guys on E-Pack. Gosh, that's the worst. Yeah. Doom Card was there. He was there the whole time.
Yeah, Doom Card.
Yeah.
Miles, congrats, Spidey, on being reacquainted with Magneto again.
Yeah, we'll tell that story in a minute.
Yeah, definitely.
That's fun stuff.
Doom Card, what's up, y'all? I'm drinking so much coffee. It sounds like a lot of people hanging.
How do I not have a cup of coffee? I was just thinking, keep drinking water. Keep your eyes clear. That's chugging water.
Love it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if you're watching, guys, please do comment in the chat. See what's going on. See what you guys are up to. Have you been on E-Pack? I'm sure many of you have.
Yeah, tell us your E-Pack highs and lows.
Yeah, tell us your highs and lows. I'll go first because mine's very boring. And yeah, so many of you may know, but I actually bought my first ever E-Pack pack of 2020 X-Men Metal. And it was very disappointing. But I enjoyed opening the pack. I get the whole, I don't know, I get the whole kind of feeling around it. It's quite addictive. But a lesson learned for me, I'm not made of money. That cost me a number of dollars. Good fun, learned a lot, but yeah, it's I only got literally base cards, and I think there was one other card, but I can't remember what it was. So yeah, nothing interesting at all. But
it's so funny. Yeah, you mentioned the gambling aspect. So I bought my first ever case on E-Pack, which is like $3,000 basically. Okay.
Wow.
So you're clicking, and normally when you're opening up cards in kind of a physical format, you're appreciating the cards, as you pull them. But on e-Pack, you're just chasing the hit. And that's what I noticed, like 2 or 3 boxes in. I'm like, I'm not even appreciating this card. So I'm just clicking as fast as I can. Click, 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 click. And that, I'll be real with you. Don't gamble. I play poker once a year. It's a $10 buy-in. It's just not my thing. But I went to the boat once in my life, put 20 bucks in, and that's exactly what it reminded me of, was that feeling. And even the sounds and the effects are pretty similar to that kind of casino feel. So it's definitely a bit of e-Pack gambling. Yeah, what's up, Marvel Stackers? I thought you said Slackers. Yeah, that's elusive and sketch card because they're not here. They're slacking this morning.
Doomcast says e-Pack is a grind. I don't know how you'll do this, mate. I'm the same as you. Like I'm staying well away from it personally, but as Spidey just said, you've gone quite hard, haven't you?
Yeah, so I've bought, I think it's a total of 12, 9, and 4, whatever that math is, boxes. And so, but I had a bit of a plan going into it. There are definitely people who prepare for e-Pack, plan for e-Pack. It's something that they intend to do. They have tons of intentionality in the way in which they attack the set, the achievements, and whatever. And they love it and look forward to it. And they hit big cards and they do their trades. And it's kind of like, their 3-day, 4-day grind, and then they're out. That's what they like to do. I think it's fun if you can afford it and that's your plan. If not, it can be pretty painful.
Yeah, say that again. So I like to view like what's going on, especially in the Facebook groups. My God, there's some serious attention going on there. Like people trying to trade, trying to get their complete set of whatever it is they're collecting. My God, this is the first e-Pack release that I've seen start to finish,
major release,
and understood like what's going on. So yeah, it's been crazy to see. But yeah, people are mad.
well, Black Diamond hit so hard and fast, I don't think people could really take it in and absorb it. Probably like they will this. X-Men Metal will be on e-Pack for some time. It's not selling out quickly, and that's intentional on Upper Deck's part. But I got a funny story, okay, to share with you about e-Pack achievement. So there's a number of achievements. We're not going to go through them all here. They're on the achievement page inside of Upper Deck. And if you don't know what an achievement is, they give you this task. You complete the task and you get a card that you can't pull out of the pack. So it can be pretty special, depending on how difficult it is to pull. If you guys remember all the hubbub around the gold 1-of-1 Old Man Logan that sold on eBay for $69,000, it really didn't. Ended up being this whole thing, but that was an achievement card. Someone achieved that, met the achievement and got that card. So I was like, you know what? I'm collecting the palladiums. Like I'm going to have them in a binder. So I'm gonna go ahead and go for the full 50 palladiums, and that way it's like dual work. I'm going to get the cards that I need while also completing the achievement. And I misread the achievement. I'm thinking only 50 people can get this achievement. And I'm watching it climb like from 36 to 40 to 42. And then yesterday, like while I'm with my family, I see it's at 48. And I'm like in a panic. Excuse me. I'm like in this panic trying to get the last cards that I need for this achievement. And I realized it's at 49. And I'm like, I put a post on the Marvel group, and I'm like, I'll trade a geode for this one. these last few that I need. Please help me before this achievement gets completed, and I won't be able to do it. And as I was putting in the last card, I realized that I was looking at how many of the cards I had actually obtained and how many I had left to go. So every time I got a card, it was going down and down and down. So when it was at 49, I thought there was only one more person that could achieve it. It was actually that I needed one more card to complete the achievement. I was totally misreading it. it was not a race against the clock. It's actually unlimited amount of people that can get that achievement. So I was in a panic for like 3 hours yesterday trying to complete that. So do better than me. Don't just glance at the achievement, guidelines. Actually read every word. So
lesson learned there, though. That's cool.
Yeah, but I got a sweet Magneto that's a gold bullion, which I think is going to be like a geode. I think that's how it's going to come to me. So I'm excited about that.
That is sick.
Mm-hmm.
Scandal says I'm done buying metal packs, boxes, cases.
I've heard that before, Scandal. I've heard that before. No, just kidding.
Too many traders not responding. Yeah, that's a big thing. I mean, I've not been in that position, but Spidey, I would imagine you've spoken to a couple of people. They don't get back very quickly.
Yeah, it's tough because when you're chasing cards that there's only one or two even available on ePack, or one pops up when it is available.
Yeah.
You're trying to strike while the iron's hot because you want to go ahead and secure these rare, low numbered or difficult to obtain cards. And like you see these people they bought like 2,000 X-Men metal cards, so they're active, but you get nothing. Like not a no, not a maybe, not a come back later, not heck no or heck yes. Like you get nothing, and it just kind of paralyzes you because you don't want to pursue another trade.
Yeah.
That you might actually trade away a card that's inside of that trade while it's active. Because if you do, it voids the trade, and then you might miss out on the card. It would be much better if they had some type of, easier to communicate chatting system or way to know if somebody's active or whatever. I just wish people would lock up the cards they don't want to trade, and that way, what is available you believe is for trade.
Yeah, makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Charles, I didn't buy any e-packs. We will wait until they hit Com C. I like to buy cheaply. Yeah, like $200, maybe less than that.
Well, the thing is
I nailed that.
You nailed it, dude. It's so good, so good. Yeah, no. Look, if you're intentional about what you want to buy, like you only want this card, that card, yeah, don't try to chase it randomly by open packs.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, there'll be a hell of a lot of stuff coming up in Com C for sure.
But see, he lives in Vegas, so he's got all kinds of other ways to gamble. Some of us live in North Louisiana, and it's only ePack. That's all we got.
Yeah, true. Scandal. ePack, yeah, Retroverse, how you doing, mate? ePack's taking up 24 hours of my life. Yeah, like I've also seen some posts in some of the Facebook groups like, this is just to let you know, you don't have to do this. You don't have to continue. If you don't have the money, as we've already mentioned, don't do it. I've seen a lot of those kind of statuses on Facebook as well, which is interesting.
Yeah, not everybody's playing in the same sandbox, and so but that's actually one thing that I really like about this hobby is there's multiple ways to approach collecting cards. We've heard it just in the few minutes here in the chat about the way people, find what they want, get what they want. ePack is just a part of it. You don't have to participate. You're not going to miss out by not participating. Seriously, you're not. I've spent most of my, recent modern collecting by doing it not on ePack and got really good cards. So don't think that you have to do that. So
100%.
If that's what's driving you to ePack is kind of the fear of missing out. That's not good.
Yeah. And this is why you're watching this. This is a cool down zone.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, this is our cool down episode. And I'll tell you what's really cool, if you can avoid the FOMO aspect of it, is watching what other people pull. Like just take some joy out of it, appreciate it, be thankful for what they pull, and then if it's a card you want, pursue it. See if you can't have a chance to get it.
Yeah, 100%. Scandal says, I strongly urge folks to have a exit plan from ePack. The longer you linger, the more you'll spend. Yeah, very true.
So I would tell you, like, my exit plan actually evolved a little bit here. And it did because I actually hit a card that I was not anticipating on having. You want to show that real quick?
Let's do it.
All right. So, guys,
Perfect.
most of you here, we're a tight knit community. Already know this, but I hit a really special card. Was not something that I thought I would have access to. You can see it here. This is actually me in my first box, third pack into a case, hit the gold number to 15, 14 out of 15 Wolverine,
Incredible.
which is this at this point was only the second one I've seen and still is. If there's another one that's been hit, I haven't seen it. And so this definitely changed my exit strategy, especially in the same case. I actually hit the copper Wolverine as well.
Really?
In the
I
same
didn't know
case.
that.
And so
Wow.
once you're holding the gold and the copper, it's like, okay, you got, if you're not selling, you got to go ahead and get the platinum and the aluminum. The aluminum obviously is a lot easier to acquire than the platinum, so I had to kind of develop another strategy to get the platinum, which is numbered out of 49. No, yeah, 49. So there's not a lot of them. So you put it in perspective. There's a good Lord, what's it? Periodic. Yeah. There's a purely periodic Wolverine blue that's numbered to 66, and it sells for like $900. Or excuse me, that's what people are asking for. I don't think it's worth that. That's my 2 cents. But anyway, people value them because they're low number Wolverine cards. The red PMG numbered to 99, $500. So for me to get the platinum, not the platinum, the platinum aluminum planet metal, the platinum planet metal, I had to have a strategy. And so that did change that when I hit this card.
So if you got a plan going forward now?
Yeah, I've already got the platinum.
Cool.
Yeah. So I'm actually developing my exit strategy. Before we got on to the channel today, I had moved all the cards that I want to ship home into my shipment.
Yeah.
And I'm now developing a plan to either trade my way into a few cards or have a sales post.
Yeah. And prior to people already know, prior to all of these cards being released, was there something you were hunting?
Yeah, no, that's such a great question. I was hunting the Dark Phoenix gold planet metal, which is just like the Wolverine.
Yeah.
And I was hunting a Spider-Man buyback.
Love it. Awesome cards.
Spider-Man buyback is numbered out of 10.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know this, but I have secured that card. I actually secured it. Was it before the gold Wolverine? No, it wasn't. It was the next day.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Latest update there.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Well played.
Yeah.
Happy for you.
I am happy. So that'll be revealed maybe later. But
yeah.
And then last night, grabbed 6 packs while as we were previously talking about, Cards and Metal was opening up physical boxes. I grabbed 6 packs. It was probably 4 a.m. And let me grab something. So for those who know this card, the Gambit Green PMG was one of 2 replacement cards for a green PMG Magneto that was damaged, had a big dent in the top left corner on the surface. Sent it upper deck. They gave me the replacement cards. The replacement cards 4x to the value of the green Magneto. Very thankful, very blessed. And in the 4th pack last night, I hit the green Magneto PMG again for the second time. 8 of 10. So
that's some Spidey Juju magic.
That was me just throwing away money at 4 a.m. There was no plan, no strategy, just having fun, staying awake, and hit that card again.
Crazy. What a story. Honestly, you can't make this up.
No. We did make a lot of jokes about the card just being really attracted to me, and had to make its way back to me.
Love it. Retroverse says, if I get all the Palladium stat, I won't bother. Again, it's way too time consuming. I'm hearing the same thing from
Well,
many.
the good news on the Palladiums is that you don't have to rush like I thought I did. There's not a race against the clock. If you achieve it, you achieve it. You get it. So, and that's really important because you're going to see these achievement cards pop up for sale. If you don't take time to think through, like, what's the real value based on the difficulty of the achievement and the value of the cards that people had to acquire to achieve them. Like, example, the Geode achievement, I think, is pretty special because the Deadpool and the Magneto, they sell for $500, $700, $800.
Yeah.
Just those two cards. And you
Yeah.
have to have them, and you have to have them on e-Pack to complete the achievement. So that means that achievement card is going to have a lot less rarity, and depending on the character on the card, can have a tremendous value.
Interesting. And do you think, not to turn this into, I don't know, PMG kind of episode, but like, you've got PMGs, you've got achievement cards. Where do they sit in your eyes? Like,
well,
because one's harder to get. Let's be honest.
Yeah. No, look, you go back to the gold Old Man Logan.
Yeah.
You had to collect the entire green PMG set on e-Pack, and only one person could achieve that, and one person did, and that card, was released. And who knows the real value, but it's likely a lot. It's Wolverine, and it's a great image of Old Man Logan as well. So, if achievement cards were numbered, they might would even go north of some PMGs, but they're not numbered. We know they can be rare, but because they're not numbered, it just has a psychological impact on the confidence of a buyer and a seller because you don't know exactly how many there are. Example.
I get you.
Excuse me. Example, it's rumored that the 2017 Flare Ultra Spider-Man patterns, that they're numbered around, they're actually only about 50 of each or so. Some people have done the math. I don't know, maybe 150. But if that's true, that puts them up there with the blues. And I got a Spider-Man pattern for $85, where a blue Spider-Man from 2017 sells for $10,000.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
100%.
And so it doesn't have the words PMG on the achievement, and it's not numbered. And when you're missing those two things, people lose a lot of confidence in what the value would be.
Love it. Interesting. Retroverse.
Charles, everyone, let's turn everything into PMG.
says stacking gems with his Spider-Man PSA 9. There's also one other thing I was thinking about that no one's really talked about, like Rittenhouse rewards or exclusives and things like this. I don't know. I haven't done enough research, but I find things like that interesting when we're talking about like e-Pack achievements and things. They're not really looked at.
Yeah, I mean, when you're looking at value and the concepts of value, you got to have a willing buyer, willing seller, acting in their own best interests with knowledge. That's part of the definition. And that with knowledge is really important because I might see some Rittenhouse achievement card and go, oh, that's a Wolverine, that's a Spider-Man. Yeah, I'll do it. But if I don't have the knowledge of what makes it special, you're not going to see that reflected in any offer that I make for the card. And both parties also have to have the knowledge for it to be a true value sale. Yeah. And that's really difficult in the Marvel space right now. Like I was looking at Stacking Gems. Stacking, I'm always thinking about you. I was looking at Pancake Analytics post on Instagram this morning.
Yeah.
Follow him if you're not following. Amazing guy, amazing content. But he was showing charts and graphs of sales, of actual sales that, as far as we can tell, with data points showing where trend lines are going for Pokemon cards.
Yep.
Well, that creates knowledge between buyer and seller. And when you have that, you have value that is potentially at play. And so we don't have that in the Marvel card space. The best thing we have is guys are reaching out to you and me, Gingy, because they know that we have some knowledge more than they do. And they're hoping that they can acquire it to then make a good purchase or a good trade.
Yeah.
And so until the Marvel hobby has, a way in which people can acquire that well, it's going to be difficult to see these cards like Rittenhouse, who might have this information about what makes it special. Until that's like known to a lot of people, you're not going to see the real value of those cards hit.
Yeah, 100%. Great answer. Yeah, like Pancake did a really good job, I think, with that post using Card Ladder. So if some of you may not know, if you are purely Marvel collectors, Card Ladder is like software or a program, I don't know what you want to call it, but it basically tracks the prices of individually sold cards. Normally graded cards. In the sports card world, it's used a lot. In the Pokemon world, it's used a lot. But yeah, you can get real data and you can see trend lines, etc., which is interesting.
This is why real estate agents are so vital and important in the real estate industry, because they're acting on behalf of a buyer or seller with knowledge.
Yeah.
And that's why that's so important. Because as a buyer or seller, when you're stepping into a market once every 7 years, you can't presume to actually know what's going on. You might think you do, but you don't.
No.
And so we don't have that data readily available beyond just searching sold listings in eBay. Like that's really kind of the extent of it in terms of like quick data. The rest of us are like reaching out saying, "Hey, what do you think?"
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm sure you've had a lot of that recently on Instagram, right?
I only get asked if they're not trying to trade for my card.
Really?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, I was going to say, no way.
That's actually so. The probably the thing I have the most fun with EPAC for me is how do I take this many cards and consolidate them to this many cards, and those few cards are the ones that I really want, that I think are going to fit in my collection and or have a lot of value.
Yeah. And what have you done to consolidate? Like, what's been your?
Well, you need to understand what other people are chasing.
Yeah.
In the EPAC achievements for X-Men Metal, you can convert. So there's 200 cards in the base set. You have a low and a high. The low in X-Men Metal EPAC is all digital, and you can trade 10 of those in for a physical blue parallel. Okay, some of them look really good. In the high series, they're physical cards, but you can collect 10 of those and trade those in for a blue parallel.
Yeah.
Then you can take 10 blue parallels and convert it to a black parallel. And for people who are set collectors and are character chasers and rainbow makers, that was nice. Do that again. Rainbow makers, they want a blue and a black to go in that rainbow, right? And then so what I did, I was like, you know what? Since I'm not that guy, I don't need rainbows of everybody or set the full sets. I just have a few of the ones that I want. I'm going to go ahead and get those blues, and then I'm going to bow out, and then I'm going to know who wants the mass amount of cards, and I'm going to overvalue. I'm going to give them more value than they actually give me in return, so I can get a really good card.
Yeah.
That I'm shipping one home instead of 300 home. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then that one card, maybe coupled with another, paired together, can get me one really special card.
Yeah. Love it. Great advice for anyone there looking to consolidate in recent events. Retroverse Pancake is awesome. Data is good, but the problem is stuff like Pokemon Evolutions blows up for no reason. Yeah, I don't know enough about that, but I think that's a recent release, I want to say.
Yeah, let's not talk about Pancake anymore until he's on the show. He's banned now until he's on the show.
Agreed. Right, what else we got in here? Pancake. If I get played into the game.
So there's an interesting conversation I saw going on around the blue parallels.
Okay.
It's, what will be the value of these blue parallels moving forward, especially in comparison with the Grandiose. So just a refresher, I know most everybody listening knows, but you got your base cards, you have gold parallel, Grandiose, you have now the blues, you have pinks, you have the red PMGs, black parallels, green PMGs, FX 1 of 1. And that would make a full rainbow set, right? So with that being the case, right now people are really hyped about the blues, as in that they help you get to the blacks. Okay. So when you trade in 10 blues, you lose them. EPAC takes them and gives you one black. But those blues are then recycled back in so that other people have a chance to collect blues that they can then turn in to a black. It's one big math equation, right? And it's based on how many digital cards are available, therefore creating the odds of what is possible with blues turning into blacks. Well, eventually people will give up on the black chase, the black parallel chase, and they'll be holding 3, 4, 5, 6 blues.
Yeah.
And you'll see them start to trade off and or sell off.
Yeah.
Especially once EPAC runs out, in my opinion, and sometime after that. And so when you're opening up X-Men Metal, when you hit a high series grandiose, it actually flashes red. You saw how that gold Wolverine was flashing red?
Yeah.
That means you have a greater than a box hit, 1 in 12 packs, greater odds than 1 in 12. Follow me?
Yep.
And so the high series grandiose, there's a conversation going on that those will actually be more valuable and desirable than the blues down the road. And the more I think about it, the more I agree.
That makes complete sense to me. Love it. David says, I can see why others would disagree, but I like that they made the base digital. Helps keep the physical desirable.
Good, man. David, you're spot on.
Agreed.
I think you're spot on. So if they were physical cards, it probably would deter people from opening more, you know, because you don't want to hold physical cards like at that level. Could you imagine having like 10 of 100?
No,
and that's just to get one blue for each. So then you multiply that times 10 for each. It just gets nuts, right? So the digital creates kind of an easy, you're not losing anything. You're actually accomplishing something. And immediately, as soon as X-Men Metal released, and it was like really obvious that there would not be physical cards for the first 100 base, the base cards that I have for sale on eBay sold instantly. Because we know only half of that product is quote available,
Yeah. That's crazy, isn't it? What a perfect example. And how do you see, like, in the future, obviously EPAC's crazy, like hot, popular. What in terms of physical and digital, I personally like both, more so physical, but do you think there may be a time when digital overtakes physical, or is it going to be a case of both always in your eyes?
Interesting. I think obviously digital, and anyone saying digital doesn't have a future is out of their mind. Okay. The physical, like, it's just still really special to be able to grab it.
Well, yeah.
And hold it. And I don't think that'll ever go away. But you will see digital have more and more and more of a space. And if I wasn't operating on 3 hours sleep, and I would look up there's a Marvel app with trading cards that are digital that Topps has.
Yes, there is. Yeah.
Have you been on it at all?
Yeah. I've got it. Yeah, I've got some cards.
That's actually where probably younger people. I am getting older. Have a child that's an adult, so I'm old now. But there are younger people who are on that space and messing around with that. And there's all these kinds of achievements, and they have numbered digitals, and like you've got to do and accomplish. And so it's more of a game built around it. And you couple that with just how NFTs are making digital feel more real and valuable.
Yes.
It definitely has a space. I just wonder what the application is going to be, like what you're going to be able to do with it. That's going to be interesting.
That's exactly it. Like the NFT bit for me is a big thing. I follow that. It's not space, but I follow some of the projects that are happening. So I want to see what happens. Does Upper Deck release NFTs? Do you know what I mean? Like, it could happen.
The thing that I really struggle with NFTs at the moment is I mean, we've seen it on this little. We have just the tiniest of podcasts, right? Like we're
At the moment.
not a big deal. Okay, very thankful for everybody in the community, but we're talking to 300 people at a time, basically every week, and but we can say something, and we've seen immediately the result of what happens on eBay or what happens in people's purchasing, and we're not intentional by it. We're just enjoying cards. We're just talking about it. But when you have like real hype men, like professional hype men, who have a financial benefit based on the hype that they drive around a digital product, that makes me really nervous. And I just don't know, how that's going to play out long term. So I'd be really careful with NFTs. I think licensed NFTs are the way to go.
Yeah.
Unlicensed make me nervous. The only NFTs I bought were the first Spider-Man release, licensed by Marvel. I grabbed 2 of them.
Makes sense.
I'll just hold them. I'm thinking like $250 in. If I did it thinking I'll never see the 250 again.
Yeah.
If I do, great. If I don't, great. Like I just, it's the first licensed NFT from Marvel, and it's Spider-Man. So made more sense to be a part of it.
Yeah. I like what you said. Like I agree with that aspect is a bit of a scary one.
Mm-hmm.
But I think like in the future, when and again I don't know how long this will be, but when you buy a card or a case, you then get, and this is completely me making stuff up now, but from Upper Deck, for example, you get a case, you buy a case, physical case, and then you get a NFT token, which then means you're like a gold member or like a gold token, which then means you are, you'll be not free, but you'll be available to get an achievement box or a card or a set that only the gold NFT members.
That's gonna happen. So let me share
that kind of vibe. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna share a story where that kind of stuff is already happening. We're just not calling it NFTs.
Yeah.
So, I have to be real careful what I share because part of this is a surprise. So I'm going to be really vague. It was going to be very specific, but I can't ruin the surprise. But basically, we got an exclusive access to something that literally everybody wants. And we got it early because of being a very special Visa card holder. That Visa is like what you're talking about with an NFT one day, right?
Yep.
And so it gained us access. It set us apart to get to something before everybody else. And so, NFTs are going to be a way to mark people in the future digitally in terms of some class.
And you're going to see that like transparency. So you're going to see that you're holding that eventually. Which is crazy.
Yeah. So you're going to want to be the first. You want to get in. You want to be the best, and they'll slap an NFT in the blockchain to create security to show that you're the owner of that.
Yeah, love it. Adam says, as this hobby continues to grow at this speed, I think Spider-Man Metal E-Pack will be crazier than this summer. Yeah, that's going to be crazy times.
Yeah, so that is the next shift for me. I've got my boxes locked up. I as long as it gets shipped, we'll see what happens there. Because some of them I bought from Australia, but it's gonna be interesting because Premiere may come out before Spider-Man Metal.
That's interesting, isn't it?
So I got to be really careful with the dollars at that point. That's just something I'll have to think through personally, not y'all's problem. But my point is X-Men Metal, Spider-Man Metal is going to hit hard physical. It's going to be during an interesting period of time. So I've been giving some thought to this. You look at when the peak of cards were for 2021. We're talking February. And yes, COVID had, been at play, but what was really at play in February is we were like all iced in the States.
Yeah.
I mean, it was cold, like really, really cold. You couldn't go anywhere and hardly do anything, coupled with COVID. And then you also had, tax season, refund season, and you're past the holidays, and people were buying Marvel cards and people were buying other, collectibles. So I think we're going to see a dip. and we should, right? And
Yep.
then you'll see that start climbing out in January again, in February, when people are at home and all they're doing is watching these videos and following people, and they're opening up product, whatever, what have you. I mean, Spider-Man's coming out when it is for a reason, right? There's a reason why it's coming out in December, late December, possibly January. And so I think we're going to see like another peak in February again. And, obviously there's global events, economic events that could change that. But, assuming things stay on course, if you have product now that you want to sell, I probably would prepare to do it during that time frame and accumulate the funds that you need to attack the rest of the trading card year for 2022.
There's going to be some big stuff coming out potentially next year for sure. 100%. Love it. Right, what else we got here? Well, we're good. I think that about wraps it up. I don't know if you've got anything further to add. You spoke most of the episode.
It's always good to be with you, Gingy, man.
And you, mate.
I love it. Love talking about this hobby. Hey, just make sure you're staying in your place of joy. Make sure you're staying in your place inside your budget. If you got a spouse, make sure she knows what you're doing. He knows what you're doing. That way, you're walking in the light and you're creating some safety around what you're doing in the hobby. Enjoy it. Stay connected. Communicate. Have fun. It's good.
Yeah, 100%. Great advice. I can't add anything else to that. That's great. Well, yeah, we appreciate you all dropping on this Sunday evening or afternoon, wherever you may be in the world.
Yeah. Hey guys, just real quick, shameless plug, SpideyG09 YouTube channel. I opened up the Brazilian Panini cards. I put that video together last night. Going to be uploading it probably sometime later today.
Nice.
You might want to check it out. A lot of fun. Great art by Alex Ross.
Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it?
It's good stuff.
Great stuff. Perfect. Well, thanks, Spidey. And thank you everyone for joining us. And we will see you on the next one. Over to you.
Hey guys, have a marvelous day.
Peace.
Peace.